One of the biggest downsides of standalone VR headsets like the Quest 2 and Quest 3 is the limited battery life. While 2-ish hours of gameplay is respectable in my opinion, there are times when that just isn't enough. Or what about those times you power your headset on to throw some dice or pop some heads with your friends, only to find out you forgot to plug your headset in after the last time you played? In my Quest 2 versus Quest 3 comparison video, I talked a little about this head strap from BinBok VR, which a number of viewers were very curious about. It's one I found on Amazon, and they sell versions of it for both the Quest 2 and the Quest 3. Link in the video description. What attracted me to them is the hot swappable 8,000 milliamp hour batteries. Each one of these batteries gives you an additional 2 to 3 hours of gameplay. So between the two batteries, you'll get a good 4 to 6 hours of playtime. And on top of that, both the Quest 2 and Quest 3 get about 2 hours of playtime out of their built-in batteries. So you're looking at somewhere between 6 and 8 hours of total playtime. But of course, while you're using one battery, you can put the other one on the charger and literally keep swapping them out almost indefinitely. Now, I personally have never played VR for more than about 4 hours in a single session, and have never put this to the test, but in theory, it should work. Now, while there's a lot of great things about this head strap, and I love the one for my Quest 3, mind you, I do have some criticism for the one for the Quest 2. The criticism I have has to do with the gear used to tighten the strap onto your face. Now, I first bought one of these head straps in May of 2023 for my Quest 2, and I love everything about it, except for this one little thing. The only way to stop this thing from cinching down on its own is to hold it from the back of the strap as you're putting it on. If you grab it anywhere else, it cinches down, which is pretty freaking annoying. But despite this annoying first world problem, I felt everything else about the head strap was great, so I had no problem buying another one for the Quest 3 when it came available. When my Quest 3 strap arrived, I was very pleased to find out this issue did not exist on it. Wherever I adjust the strap to, it stays there. In my opinion, the Quest 3 version of this strap is perfect. But of course, this does beg the question, has BinBok updated the Quest 2 version of their head strap to this same gear? I then hopped onto Amazon to buy another Quest 2 strap, and it, like the Quest 3 strap, does not cinch down on its own like the old strap does. However, as you tighten it down, it doesn't lock in place like the old Quest 2 strap or the Quest 3 strap does either. The old Quest 2 strap and the Quest 3 strap lock in place when you tighten them down, and you have to use the wheel to loosen the strap. The newer Quest 2 strap, on the other hand, does not lock in place the same way. You can tighten it down where it fits snugly to your face, but when you go to adjust it on your face, or pull on it in any way, it pretty easily loosens up. As you can see here, I can loosen and tighten the head strap by simply pushing and pulling it apart. I don't even have to use the adjustment wheel. Now, I don't know if I have a defective unit here, or if BinBok is using a different mechanism for the Quest 2 strap, or if this is just how poor their quality control is, that none of the gears function the same way. No matter what it is, the fact that it doesn't lock in place worries me a bit. I did, of course, spend several hours playing games using the new Quest 2 strap to test it and see how much it would loosen up as I played some games, and it actually worked fine. I rarely had to tighten it once I got going, and it stayed in place much better than I thought it would after seeing how easily it expands and contracts. I should mention the games I played weren't anything super strenuous though. I didn't do any boxing or VR workouts or anything like that, but when playing the stuff I usually play, like Beat Saber, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and Contractors, it was just fine. Moving on, the overall build quality of the head strap is pretty solid. The action on the gear to tighten and loosen the head strap is very smooth and feels much higher quality compared to other head straps I've owned. I bought a pretty inexpensive head strap for my Quest 3 before buying this one, and this BinBok head strap is better in every way. The build quality both looks and feels better. The PU leather and padding used on the top strap is of noticeably better quality, and the action of the gear wheel, well, there's just no comparison. The gear on this other head strap is kind of stiff and feels cheap, where the gear on the BinBok is easy to turn and feels really, really smooth. But again, out of the 3 of these BinBok straps I now own, the gear on the Quest 3 one is the only one that operates the way I feel it should. As for how to attach the head strap to your headset, I think most people know how this is done, but just real quick, if you're ditching the stock head strap, you first need to remove the facial interface. Then remove the top strap from the headset and disconnect the head strap from the speaker arms by grabbing this plastic tab portion here at the back and pushing it out away from the headset. Installing the BinBok strap is essentially the same process, but in reverse. You snap these parts of the head strap onto the speaker arms like so. Loop the long end of the top strap through the cutout on the silicone brace like this. Then feed the other end through the loop on the headset and Velcro it back onto itself. You then plug the USB-C cable into the headset's charge port, put your facial interface back on, and you're good to go. When it comes to comfort, I really like this head strap. Thanks to the gear wheel, it's super easy to adjust to fit to your noggin. And the silicone brace at the back molds nicely to the back of my head, and I almost don't notice it's there. Admittedly, I'm a big fan of this type of rear brace. I've had head straps that use padded PU leather on the brace, and as soft and plush as they are, they just don't feel as comfortable to me as these silicone style braces do. Of course, that's just my opinion. If you don't like these style of braces, then this head strap probably isn't for you. Besides the easy adjustment and the extended battery life, one of my favorite features of this head strap is the hinges. This allows you to quickly and easily move the headset out of the way so you can talk to someone, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, or just take a little break. One of the biggest pain points of aftermarket head straps like this is how they sometimes put pressure on your ears. As you can see, this one fits great on me, and there's just enough space between my ears and the head strap that this isn't an issue for me. Now, not everyone's ears are positioned with the same relationship to their eyes as me, nor are their ears the same size and shape as mine, so your mileage may vary. Hopping back over to the stars of our show, the dual 8000 milliamp hour batteries. As I already talked about, the head strap comes with 2 of these battery packs, and they are hot swappable, which means you can switch between them while in the middle of a game without having to power the headset down or exit the game you're playing. Each battery pack weighs about 7.5 ounces, which is a little less than half a pound. For all you guys watching this outside the US, that's a little over 210 grams. While this does put more weight onto your head, it actually doesn't feel bad at all because the additional weight at the back balances out the weight of the headset on the front. As for how the batteries mount to the head strap, they're held in place by some pretty strong magnets. I've played for dozens and dozens of hours using these in all kinds of different games, and I have never had a battery come loose. As I shake it here, you can see it's not going anywhere. In order to get it to fall off, I have to shake it so hard. Oh, if you were turning or banging your head with that much force, I think you'd give yourself whiplash or possibly even a concussion. Now, I already mentioned at the beginning of the video that the batteries last between 2 and 3 hours. But what about the charging time? Once they've been fully depleted, it takes somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 hours to fully charge them back up again. I don't know how long exactly, because while doing that part of the testing for this video, I checked in on them periodically as they were charging, and sometime between when I checked it at the 3 hour mark and when I checked again around 4 hours, it had finished charging. The batteries can be charged in a couple of different ways. The head strap comes with this charging dock, which allows you to charge both batteries simultaneously. But you can charge one at a time, either using the dock or by simply plugging the charging cord into the USB-C port on the battery itself. Each battery has 4 charge level indicator lights, so you can see when it's at 100, 75, 50, and 25% charge. And of course, if none of the indicators light up, then the battery is fully depleted. This BinBok strap does come with a charging cable, but it does not come with a charging adapter to plug into the wall. I don't feel like that's all that big of a deal though, because with the Quest itself being USB-C, you can just use the power adapter your Quest headset came with. Now, one thing I have found is the batteries will turn off after a while if they aren't being used. For example, if you're playing and stop to take a break and set your headset down, it will continue to discharge until your headset battery has been fully charged, and then the battery pack will turn off. So when you come back and start playing again, your headset will run off the headset's built-in battery unless you wake the battery pack up by either pressing the BinBok button or by pulling the battery off the head strap and placing it back on. As a side note, these battery packs are really just battery banks, so you can use them to power or charge other devices like your phone that also use USB Type-C. One more thing I'd like to cover before closing out this video is the USB-C port on the batteries is for power only. They do not carry data. So if you're wanting to use your Quest headset for PC VR, it doesn't work to plug your link cable into the port on the battery and then have the battery plugged into the port on your headset. If you want to use these batteries to extend your PC VR playtime, you're going to have to play wirelessly using AirLink, Steam Link, Virtual Desktop, or some other wireless streaming application. Now for my final thoughts on the BinBok battery head strap. I really like it, especially the one for my Quest 3, as the adjustment wheel works exactly the way I want it to. While the way it works on my Quest 2 straps isn't a deal breaker for me, I do have a hard time recommending them because they don't work the same way the one on my Quest 3 strap works, which is the way I think they should all work. Other than that though, I think the quality of these BinBok straps is really good. They're very comfortable to wear, easy to use, and the amount of added playtime you get out of those 8,000 milliamp hour batteries is just awesome. So what do you guys think? Is the adjustment wheel thing on the Quest 2 straps a deal breaker? Or are the other features good enough for you to look past this? Or am I making a bigger deal out of this than it really is? Let me know in the comments, and who knows, maybe BinBok will see this and they'll fix it. I mean, probably not, but here's hoping. Come on, do it, you know you want to. Subscribe!